Stop focusing on results, follow the plan or follow the game plan. Honestly, these last couple of weeks, personally, I was a little bit discouraged, to be fair. Even today, I was feeling discouraged. And a lot of you guys know I started a business some time ago. I've done multiple things in the past, and I work on other projects as well. However, this is the one thing that it's really like for me. And the last couple of weeks, I just have not seen the results that I would have liked to have seen. And it's kind of led me to a little bit of a time where I've kind of had to push myself, and I've had to tell myself, you know what, just keep going, keep pushing, keep trying, stay consistent, and not in a way that it burns me out, but in a way where, this is something that a lot of times that happens in fitness. With fitness, a lot of people will go to the gym for 1 to 2 weeks, or they'll go to the gym for a couple weeks. We know January 1st, whoever goes to the gym on January, they stop going to the gym. And a lot of times it's because they just don't see the results. When I first started working out, this was back in 2013, 2014 time, there were times when I would see the newbie gains, and I'd be like super motivated. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I wouldn't see a lot of gains. I would kind of plateau. Or the pump that I felt when I was at the gym, I wouldn't feel that after. I'd go back to my regular shape. And then sometimes I'd injure my wrist. And my form wasn't that good. People were coming up to me, giving me feedback. And although it was great, but sometimes it made me realize, oh, you don't really know what you're doing. And then I'd see other people that know what they're doing. I didn't really know what I was doing. But as time went on, it started to make more sense. Of course, I hired a fitness coach. I hired 2 fitness coaches for me. And for me, that changed everything, right? After that, all I had to do was just learn nutrition. Once I learned nutrition, it was kind of game over. I realized, oh, wow, it's not as difficult as it seems. Even when it came to relationships, dating, right? I was a lot of trial and error. I was trying to understand the dynamics between men and women, right? It just things along those lines. So when I ended up getting married, it was kind of a time where I learned so much just through experience and just vetting and more vetting. That's what I'm talking about. I learned a lot about vetting. And from there, things just started to make sense to the point where I had options come in. I would say the 2 years before I got married, that's when I had the most options, where it was just options coming in. And I was at a point where I was like, okay, well, I'm not desperate for it anymore. Because before it was oh, I really need it. And you feel like you want to give up. But I didn't give up. And I said, you know what, there were times actually when I said, I'm done. I don't want to do this. But I reached a point where I said, you know what, if it happens, it happens. I'm not going to push for it. I'm not going to go super hard for it. But if it comes my way, I'm not going to just push it away. I'm still going to entertain it. And the same thing with this business, right? I've been working on another project for over 3 years now, and we're still figuring out that project. It seemed starting to slowly make sense, and it's starting to get there. But with this business that I'm starting, a lot of things just don't make sense to me right now. I'm actively figuring it out. Day by day, I am working on it. Like I said, I don't burn myself out to the limit, but I take action and I get things done. And the same thing is going to happen with this business. Eventually, it will click. Eventually, it will make sense. And I think that's just the biggest thing that I've kind of recognized. A lot of times when I was at the gym, there were times when I wanted to give up. There were times when I said, oh, what's the point? I would kind of stray off a little bit. Things would happen. I would fall off. And then I just didn't, it just didn't click. Like I said, it didn't click until I got a personal trainer. That's when I learned form, learned proper workouts. And then when I learned nutrition, it was game over. I knew it was at a point where I knew exactly what I need to do to get to where I want to be. So in 2020, when I came back, I already had the vision. And then when I had the vision, I just worked towards that vision. And I wasn't even focused on the results at that time. And this is the theme of the video. I wasn't focused on the results at that time. I ended up focusing on the process. And the process was I was excited. I was watching. There's a certain video that I used to listen to every single time I would go for a workout. It was like a 10-minute video. And I listened to that every single time I'd work out. I remember it was the summer. I think it was 2020. It's pandemic time. We were wearing masks at the gym. And I remember how I looked. I looked completely different. I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grow facial hair. I'm gonna do this, and that's all I really wanted at that time. I just wanted to look better. Like my motivation wasn't financial. It wasn't relationships. It wasn't anything else. It was simply to look my best. And I started to achieve that. I think the next year or the year after that, I achieved it, and I started working on other parts of myself. Obviously my skincare and like my overall hairstyle, which I'm actively figuring out as well. But that's the point. When you feel like you're not progressing, you just have to keep trying and keep going, and you have to follow your plan. Whatever your plan is, everybody has a different plan. When it comes to your business, you have your target number. You already know. I have my number. Someone else has their number. So the biggest thing is actively learn, keep learning. Like even me, I hired a business coach. Literally, I hired a business coach for myself because I knew that if I wanted to take this to the next level, I need to hire someone. I need someone to help guide me, give me a blueprint. So what have I been doing? I've been following the blueprint. I've just been following the blueprint. I literally upload on average every day. I upload 8 posts a week on Instagram. I upload on TikTok. I'm still working on, but I've been gaining followers on TikTok. I've been posting on YouTube. I've been posting a lot more shorts on YouTube, and on Snapchat I upload almost every day. So the biggest thing, like I said, is follow your plan. Forget the results for now. Follow your plan, because your plan is your roadmap. Maybe you're not where you want to be right now, and that is might be a thing. It might happen. For me, like I said, it's taken me a while to figure this out. But sometimes I look back and I recognize all the different steps it took me to get to where I am today. And of course, I'm a human being. There's so much that I need to learn. I'm actively learning Arabic and things along those lines. But I'm a human being. So whatever stage you're at right now, identify where you want to be at when it comes to that, and then follow that plan. When I wanted to so-called looks max back in 2020, that was like my main thing. I just wanted to look my best. I said, you know what? I'm going to invest into that. So I bought minoxidil. I invested in Tej Hanley. I got or skincare routine, right? I started to improve my diet. I did a lot of things. I was going to the gym like super. That was from 2019. When I went to Senegal, I came back, and then I started. That's when I was the most consistent. Right now, from that time to now, I rarely miss like weekly workouts. I work out pretty much every week. There's not one week unless I'm sick. The only time is maybe I'm sick, maybe I'm traveling. But even if I'm traveling, I'll go for walks, and I'll be conscious of my diet as well. So that's the biggest thing. Know your goal, and then follow that game plan, because there's going to be days, like I said, there's days for me right now where I just don't want to show up. There's days where I'm just like, what's the point? But at the same time too, it's like a part of me is, I've seen people that have done it. I've seen other coaches in my coaching business coaching that have done it, that are actively doing it. So if they can do it, why can't I? And that's what's keeping me going. And that accountability as well is a big one. Accountability is probably one of the biggest ones that's going to be a big thing. So yeah, if you need that help, let me know. Check out my link down below, and you can apply for coaching, or you can check out my 5-day challenge. And yeah, we can have a conversation from there. But the biggest thing, like I said, is just knowing what your goal is, and then working towards that goal. Forget the results for now. Something I always have to remind myself. Forget about the results for now. Focus on the progression. That's the biggest thing. Don't forget to stay authentic. Peace.